again with another video. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. So I've done videos about the Big Ten in the past, so I challenged myself to come up with a 32-team Big Ten conference. The concept of 32 teams. The Big Ten already has 18, so to get to 32 is a bit of a jump, but not too big of a jump. So just kind of take a look at what I have and on there for a moment. So we got UConn. So we have the 4 basketball blue bloods on the top row: UConn, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina. And then I have Texas A&M. You snatch Texas A&M from the SEC. Georgia Tech, Virginia, Notre Dame, Arizona, Miami, Stanford and Cal, Tulane, and Colorado. So I'll go into those each individually in a second, but I want to talk about AAU accreditation. Super big for Big Ten membership. So you add Arizona, they're an AAU member. You add Stanford and Cal, both members. Colorado, Texas A&M, Kansas is a member. Georgia Tech, Tulane, Miami, Duke, Chapel Hill, Duke and UNC Chapel Hill, Notre Dame, and I think I said Virginia. So all of those that you add are big AAU teams that you can pick. Now, another reason, so Big Ten is big on 2 things: AAU accreditation and media market. So if you look at the media markets across country, the big 3 cities across country: New York City, Chicago, and LA, they already had those markets covered. You got Northwestern, Illinois. You got Rutgers outside of New York City. The only one that isn't, I don't think UConn is AAU accredited, but I put UConn in there for 2 reasons. 1, college hoops, and 2, its proximity to the New York City media market. You already have Penn State, you already got Maryland, you already got Rutgers, but if you add another school in the Northeast, you kind of tap into that New York City market and even Boston market to an extent. Kansas is not big on TV market. Kansas is a pretty small place, but they do have AAU accreditation, and they are a college hoops powerhouse. Duke, North Carolina, pretty self-explanatory. College hoops, both are AAU accredited and would get the North Carolina media market for the Big Ten. Texas A&M. A lot of people are probably thinking that A&M is staying in the SEC, and I agree with that. But there is a possibility that Texas A&M does not like having Texas in the same conference as them. The only other place to go besides the SEC for A&M is probably the Big Ten. So let's talk about it. Texas A&M, AAU accredited, pretty dominant in college football, and Texas is a huge media market. You've got Dallas, Fort Worth, you got Austin, you got San Antonio, you got Houston. If you have Texas A&M at College Station, that gets you a massive media market in the state of Texas. Georgia Tech, another one, pretty big media market. If you look at Georgia as a whole, Atlanta media market, you either have Georgia Tech or Emory. And I think the choice for the Big Ten, if you want to expand to the SEC territory, especially Atlanta area, Georgia Tech, AAU accredited, massive media market. Virginia, AAU, massive media market around Richmond. You also, solidify that DC, Baltimore media market as well. Notre Dame, they are AAU accredited. South Bend is not a big media market, but Notre Dame has millions of loyal fans across the country. so they're going to tune in for Notre Dame athletics. Arizona. If we look at Arizona, Tucson is pretty big. Arizona State is in the valley. But if you're able to get either one of those schools, and I chose Arizona, you can't go wrong either way. But Arizona is a pretty big media market, especially Phoenix, Tucson, and Flagstaff to an extent. All right, Colorado. Colorado is AAU accredited, and also, let's be honest, not great in football, but they do have the hype around Coach Prime at the moment. But the most important thing for Colorado is that Denver media market. Makes sense. All right, moving on to Tulane. Tulane, they are AAU accredited. They do have a pretty decent media market, especially around New Orleans. Decent in college football, overall pretty solid athletic school. Currently in the American, but there is a possibility that AAU accreditation and media market in NOLA could be influential. Cal and Stanford, these two are, in my opinion, obvious. You have Northern California media market. If you're the Big Ten, you already have Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA. You cut down on travel and logistics on the West Coast by adding more schools. They are AAU accredited, both decent at college athletics. And when I say decent, Stanford has the most national championships by any school. And you also get the highly coveted Northern California media market. And last but not least, the University of Miami, or the U. They are AAU accredited. They are decent in college athletics, especially in football, traditionally. But you also dip your toe into the Florida media market, which is huge. If you're the Big Ten, there are a handful of states you want to get into. Texas is one of them. Florida is another one. And then obviously states like Georgia, Carolinas, Virginia, maybe a couple states out west. All of these schools, I think, would make great additions to the Big Ten, but this is a challenge for me to make a 32-team Big Ten super conference. So UConn, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Notre Dame, Arizona, Colorado, Tulane, Cal, Stanford, and the University of Miami. I think the only one that isn't AAU accredited is UConn, but I put UConn in there because you pretty much corner that NYC media market, you tap into Boston, and you get a true college hoops powerhouse. So that is my 32-team Big Ten. With that being said, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.